how did development education come to be such a central part of the school?
I suppose up until we formally introduced it into the transition year programme, we would have had a number of projects running there, which really were running because of an interested teacher. And the earliest one, I suppose, was the Calcutta project, the immersion project, which was primarily organised through the Christian Brothers. Now, that was brought up at a staff meeting. Everyone thought it was a great idea, but only one teacher volunteered to go out on an exploratory mission to see what it was about and what it entailed. And that one teacher is still the advocate and the promoter of that project. Now, therefore, there was an appetite, obviously, for this sort of thing. A second teacher then joined us a few years later. He was big into Concern, and he promoted both the Concern debates and Concern fasting, and got the students involved in the Concern fasting. So that was the second leg of it.
Okay.
And then out of an RE teacher started a peace and justice group. And all of these things were happening in the school, all raising awareness in their own particular area. But I suppose I was conscious that if any one of these teachers left, would they take the skills and the interest with them? And I was conscious that it wasn't really embedded in the school in a way that I would like it to be embedded. Also, I noticed that the group that would have gone to Calcutta in each of every 3 years, they were fantastic children. They saw firsthand what it was like to be in a developing world, a developing country, and they came back. And I felt that they weren't able, or they weren't given enough opportunities to bring the message and bring the whole thing back into the school community. While they came along and gave a presentation at the parent council, or a presentation at the board meeting, or a presentation to students at the invitation of individual teachers, I didn't feel it fed back enough into the school community, and indeed the wider community from which some of the fundraising was done. And I saw an ad for an Irish Aid ad, and I went along with the teacher who promotes the Calcutta project, and we saw a different angle altogether about the whole idea of getting development education as an actual subject into the school. And I thought, that's a great idea, let's follow up on that. And that's really how the whole thing started.
So how did you actually insert it into the transition year programme? Like how many periods a week and all that?
Yeah, again, I think a series of coincidence and good fortune. I came back, that was the month of May, I think, and Joe Clary was in the school because he was the examination secretary. I was going to be there for the month of June when all the other teachers were gone. I mentioned to Joe, look where I've been, what it was about. He said, oh my God, I would love to do that. That's a fantastic, I'm really interested in this. And he gave me a number of, I suppose, history stories of his own life and places he had been and things he had seen, and friends of his who were involved directly in the whole area of alleviating poverty and injustice and famine and so on. And he said, I'd love to be involved in that. And also I've got this friend, Patsy Tolden from Self-Help, and he named 2 or 3 other people, all of whom I felt, this is fantastic, this is taken off before my eyes. So Joe decided, we met up with Patsy Tolden, we decided we needed about at least one other school, and I had a friend who was an RE teacher over in Portlaoise, and met her, she was fierce interested. So we had a meeting, and over the course of that June and July and a bit of August, we drew up a plan. And then we decided to implement it in 2 classes a week into the transition year program. So just literally, the transition year is so open, it gives you the school flexibility to plan a curriculum and plan a syllabus for the subject and then put it on the curriculum. So that's really how it happened.